Hey, how you doing? I want to show you something real quick and then we'll get into what this video is really about. This is kind of moment. Check out that mower blade. I call that foobar. Yeah, that's what happens when you hit stuff, you know? But let me talk to you about what I'm actually here for. Alrighty, let me find a seat here. I'm gonna sit down. So, maybe. All right, so let's have a little conversation here. I just got back from Hopperstock, and I ran into some problems. You see, every time I fired up a saw, it just didn't seem to want to run right. And it didn't matter what saw I started, which, you know what I mean? They just, none of them wanted to run right. And I could not figure it out. I mean, they'd pull chain with power and everything, but they just weren't quite where they should be. And finally, towards the end of the event, I fired up one of my saws. It still had, you know, a tiny drop of fuel in it. And then that's when things kind of, I don't know, revealed themselves. So let me throw up a clip here. I want you to pay attention to the saw's RPM. It's almost like it changed gears in the cut. And I want to know what your opinions are, because this is so pretty suspicious that, you know, I had an issue, and a simple issue, but I want you to see this saw. It actually does. It kind of changes gear in the cut. And, you know, kind of curious to see what your opinions are. I have my suspicions. I'll just say that. But check it out. All right, so, you know, the saw did. It just basically like changed gears, you know, halfway in the cut. And I'm suspicious that it was a fuel issue is what I was experiencing. I cannot confirm it 100% just yet, but I'm suspicious that I had a fuel issue. You see, normally I buy my gas locally here. I always buy 93 octane, and I've been mixing it with Lucas. But at Hopperstock, I waited until I got down there to buy my gas. And I pulled into the fuel station. I bought 2 cans of gas. I bought 2 gallon in one can, put 2 gallon in another can. I only used the 1 can of gas, so I still have 1 can of, you know, unmixed gas here. But whenever I mixed the other can, I put Technoplate in it. Still mix it the same ratio that I always do. And the reason I wanted to do Technoplate is because I was planning on doing some experimenting with methanol. And, you know, coming up with different methanol fuel blends, you know. But I'm curious to know if the fuel was the issue. So I'm thinking I'm going to dump that fresh can of gas that I still have and use it on, you know, the mower or something like that. But then I think I'm going to get another fresh 2 gallons, mix it up, and then I'll still have the fuel from Hopperstock that I used, and I'll have the fresh mix that I just mixed up, and I'm going to try it, you know? I'm going to see what happens. But I got a feeling that I was running into a fuel issue that I purchased. It's either that or the oil does not perform the same. It might have some sort of factor to it that it causes you to lose some power. It is possible. So we'll find out. We're gonna have to test it because it's either the oil or the gas. And the chances that it was bad gas, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it runs fine. It's just I lost RPM I lost power, or whatever you want to call it. And, you know, it happened on all my saws. All of them. So, I don't know. I'm thinking it's possible. Could be fuel related, you know? It's kind of a weird shot here in front of the fence, isn't it? Almost looks like I'm in jail. Alrighty. But anyway, I don't know. What's your thoughts? Do you think fuel can do that? I think it can. It's almost like it was old gas. That's the best way I can explain it. Because I've ran saws with old gas, and they don't perform the same as a saw with fresh gas. They just don't. They run, but just not the same. You know, that they're underpowered. And I'm wondering what are the chances that fuel station had old gas or water in it or something? You know, I gotta find out though. It's bugging me because my saws were not performing to the level that they should have been, and it's kind of, you know, depressing. If you know what I mean. You spend all that time traveling and all that stuff, and then everything you have just runs like poop in the end. And, well, they didn't really run like poop. I mean, they still ran good, but they just didn't have the same performance levels that they should have. I mean, you could see how much I lost on that saw. It was literally like it changed gears. So I'm thinking once the fuel, you know, sucked its way up through the fuel line, it changed gears to whatever the new fuel was performing at. But that's my suspicion now. I got a feeling I was dealing with some bad gas of some sort. I've heard stories of it happening to people. This would be the first time I've ever experienced it. And that dog does not want to shut up, does it? It's one of the neighbors. But anyway, give me your opinions. I'm curious to see what you think. And I'll put up another clip here so you can see it again. I don't know. I think I had bad gas. What do you think? I guess it could have been a spark plug or something, but, you know, that just brought something else to mind. The 925, when I fired it up, it refused to run. I put a new spark plug in it and it ran. So what are the possibilities? You know? Was this fuel related? Only one way to find out, I guess. I'm gonna have to do some testing. And, you know, it's kind of a pain in the butt. I guess I could just buy new gas and shove it in and go with it, you know, just to be certain. Or should I test it? You know, should I put the time into testing it? You know, I think it'd make a good video. What about you? But anyway, let me know what you think. Catch you later.